Good morning, Ms. Blackmon.
Good morning.
My name is Kayla, and I am in room 103. Thank you for taking the time to allow the Sasso squad to interview you for Black History Month. I have a few questions I would like to ask you so the FKD, Home of Champions, can get to learn more about you and your accomplishments.
Oh, thank you, and I much appreciate being here.
Where and when were you born?
I was born in Trinidad, which is an island in the Caribbean, and I was born on March 26, something. I'm not going to share by year, but I'll just March 26. That's when I was born.
How long have you been teaching at Frankford High School?
So I've been at Frankford, I've been here for about 6 years. So that's how long I've been here. I was in the classroom for 5, and this year is the first year I'm not in the classroom teaching.
What is your favorite part of your job?
I would say my favorite part of my job now, because my job has changed a little bit, I guess, is doing things that are more on the whole school basis. You know, being a classroom teacher, before I just kind of worked with my class, maybe some other small, other classes, but now I get to do things that kind of impact the school, which that's kind of nice.
What is your job title?
So my job title is Director of Equity and Inclusion. That's my official job title.
Who was your role model growing up?
I would say my role model was my mom. She worked really, really hard all the time to make sure that me and my little brother, my little sister were, always, like, we had everything that we needed. She was always so sweet, even when she was stressed out. So I would say, like, those things are things that now when I look back, I really look up to them, and things that I strive to be and do.
Did you ever see yourself doing what you are doing now? If not, what did you want to do at first?
That's an excellent question. Very, very good question. No, I never saw myself as being a teacher. So it's funny because my mom was a teacher, and I was the kid that spent time in schools outside of school, because my mom was a teacher. So she would set up her room in the summertime. We would go, and I was like, this is okay, definitely don't want to do this. So I didn't really see myself becoming a teacher, but it just so happened that I kind of fell into the whole teaching thing. And I would say before wanting to be a teacher, I went to school for psychology. So I wanted to be a forensic psychologist. I wanted to work on crime scenes and figure out crimes. But I think I was probably just watching a lot of Law and Order at that time or something, because I don't think I really want to do that. Now that I look back, I was like, I don't think I would I'd probably be sad every day. So, teaching is where it's at, and I love it.
Where did you attend high school and college?
So I went to Francis Lewis High School, and that's in Queens, New York. In college, I went to Lincoln University, which is like an hour away from here. So,
in your opinion, how do you help the FKD community?
I guess the thing I think is most helpful is just, trying to connect the school with outside resources and bring people in that can kind of enrich our environment. Just working on some of the cultural exposure and giving students opportunities to do things that are outside of, the typical school, ideas, giving kids access and opportunity, which is a big part of equity. And I think the part that I'm most helpful with right now.
What is the most important thing you learn in school and life?
Oh, man. So many things I've learned. I would say the most important thing that I probably learned in life was just to be kind, because you never know who is what, where. A lot of times you're moving through life and, not being kind to somebody, and then you realize, wow, you have a big impact on my future. So I think just being kind and admitting when hey, maybe I wasn't as kind, and knowing that there's nothing wrong with going back and trying to fix things. So
what are you the most proud of?
Probably my family. I have 2 kids, so just watching my kids grow up. My daughter is 13, so that's a big deal, and my son is 6, and just who would ever thought I could have been a mom, right? So I would say, never saw myself doing that either. But you know, just being a parent and watching my kids grow up and knowing that I'm doing like at least an okay job for right now. So I think that's what I am most proud of.
What advice do you have for kids my age?
I would say is to try to always think limitlessly. Like it's a really, really hard thing to do because when you look around your life, it's just a lot of things that like limit what you can do. You're like, I can't do this. I don't have money. I can't do this. I don't have time. But, you know, just having that like big mindset to think like I can literally do anything that I put my mind to. I think that's probably like the best advice, because when you tackle life that way, it does. It just will naturally open doors and you'll always be able to do things you literally never thought you could.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for a wonderful interview.
Just like you know, I always want just like you.